Who are you again?
I'm Detective Roland.
It's Detective Roland. We got Weeks over here too, so if he puts his mug in there or something like that, yeah, there he is. All right. Hey, we are back at you with a Safety 5, and we do have 5 topics today, thus the Safety 5. No promises that it's going to be 5 minutes. It could be a little longer, a little shorter. We'll see where we get to. But it's a great opportunity for us to revisit some things that are important to us, important to campus safety, important to community safety, etc. And as we know, we have had challenging moments this year, but I think we have really come together as a group to take on those different challenges and create solutions and do the best we can to provide an awesome environment here for all students and staff. So I'm going to start with a little spring drill schedule and drill review. So just a reminder, and I'm going to have your advisors remind you this a little bit too. I'm going to briefly hit some of the emergency things that we do, but I'm hoping what will happen is your advisors will be able to talk with you, especially about some phase 1 and phase 2 evacuation stuff. Phase 2 being something we have not done yet, which we will do coming up, and be able to share that with you once we get done with this video as well. So phase 1 evacuation, just real basic stuff. As a reminder, you guys know that's when we're all getting out of this building. Could be a fire alarm, could be, generally that's speaking what it is, and we all just find the closest way to get out of this building. Each room has a little path. The thing I think to stress on that one is that for some reason you're not in class, you're in the restroom, you're in the counseling center, library, or someplace, and you get separated. You exit in a phase 1 in the quickest way, but you're not with your class. It may be worth just letting the closest adult know that, hey, I'm not with my class right now. Here's where I was, but I'm with you. And or if you can work your way back to your phase 1 group or your original class on the outside of the building, obviously being safe. That would be an important one as well. So phase 1 evacuation. Phase 2. Staff, I'm working on, I have an individual map for each one of you on a phase 2. And phase 2 is when we got to be out of our building for a little bit longer period of time. To be honest, it's usually some type of catastrophic weather event that causes a phase 2, meaning that there's something wrong with our building. Could be, maybe earthquake, chemical spill, something that causes us to be out of our building. And so for us, that's what we call a phase 2. We do have a setup out near or on our stadium field for that. That's what your map's going to read. But the reality is we may not be able to access that as well. So we may have to go to like a practice field. We may have to go to even walk down to Peter G to a different building, depending on what's going on. But our standard phase 2 does put us on the stadium field and organizes us in an alphabetical order. So those are our phase 1, phase 2. Earthquake, drop, cover, and hold. We'll be revisiting some of these drills this spring. Modified lockdown or lockout. We had a series of those earlier this year, and that's when we really are trying to just take our exterior exits and control entry and exit at those spots and have students go about normal business while we're in school. A lot of times that modified lockdown is a situation where we have something going on, maybe someone in the community at large.
Yeah, there could be something happening just off campus or in the surrounding neighborhood.
And Detective Roman can put us in modified lockdown. Our staff, the administrative staff, campus supervision, security can, we work together on making that decision as well. But obviously our local PD it usually informs us of that right away and can handle that situation also. Standard lockdown. And this is just one you guys, we're going to continue to practice. We're going to continue to practice at off times. Whether it be in the morning before school, lunches, passing period. And it's really just about getting you to an area in which we can lock a door and have you be as safe as possible. We talk about run, hide, fight in terms of that concept. And we've done some definite things this year to control student movement to a certain extent. And we've found that that's really been beneficial to us. And in terms of our ability to identify concerns and potential threats. So that lockdown is a super important one to us. We'll continue to practice that word.
Just remember on the lockdown, out of sight, lights off, windows covered if possible, quiet.
Yeah.
Quiet. Silence your phones. Don't be texting on them or anything like that. Any of that ambient light can be an issue.
I'm going to hand this one over to Detective Roman a little bit about a little bit about driving.
So, we've got some cold weather. That's why I'm keeping my bald head warm right now. So I see we're getting towards that 5-minute mark, so we're going to try to pick up.
We're good. We're okay. But keep rolling.
I want just to remind you guys that, icy roads, black ice, things you don't know, parking lots are slippery, that type of stuff. Inside the parking lots, there's no screwing around or anything like that. We need to make sure that we are being safe, driving safe. And there's a lot of talk about keeping up with the speed of traffic around you. No, you drive to what you're comfortable driving in. And that person beside you or in front of you might be going faster than what you're comfortable with. Don't try to keep up with them. Understand things are starting to warm up at different times throughout the day, which is causing different glares with this time of year. The sun is lower and it can be very blinding. So drive within your means and be safe.
If we do have any inclement weather, you guys, or we get situations where we do have some ice or snow still, let's always be careful. And then as it starts to warm up, right, the tendency is, well, more of you are driving, more of you are getting your driver's license, and so our parking lots becoming full. But we have young people walking around our parking lots, and we would not want anyone to get hurt. So 10 miles per hour, nice and slow, cautious, please.
Or less.
Or less, thanks. Threshold placement concept. Detective Roman and I were just having a conversation about this the other day about how awesome it is to see our staff out and about during our passing periods, and just the identification of any concerns that they may have with students and or other situations. It's just been really a positive for us.
So yeah, and I wanted to touch on that too. I've had many students come up to me and even comment about how, with all the staff out there, how it feels. And I'm going to tell you, when I look down the hallways and I see the staff all standing at the doors of their rooms and that type of stuff, it does make a much more secure and safe environment, and people are more aware. So students, share that with your teachers, because I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah, so appreciate that and the work that goes into that. Number 4 on the list, THS Hub. There's a safety tab on there now. I'm going to be continually adding information to that, so see that on the hub. The last one here is, I think we usually kind of talk about some of the items we're going to address, and we've seen a little bit of an uptick in social media. I just think concerns, right? And you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I think everybody needs to take an extra step before they actually hit that post button or hit that send button, and think about what you're posting or what you're sending. There has been a large increase or uptick, if you will, of social media crimes and harassment, bullying, that type of stuff, and not always intended that way. So think about what you're about to post or what you're going to say, and think about those that are going to be receiving it or seeing it, and whether it's a individual or a small group, or whether it's public. Understand that is forever. They don't ever go away. You can hit delete on that and it might disappear off of what you can view, but that is forever there. Remember that. Every single thing you send will always be there.
And I think we're gonna be watching a little bit of a video here that kind of shows that process of how something really small in a social media situation can lead to some student unrest and folks being concerned. And I think that we see that happen here, and we just want you to be safe, and we want you to think about how we're respectful, nice, neutral, or nothing, and how we treat others. And I just hope that we can continue to get better at that. So those are our Safety 5 topics. We will follow with another video related to social media pieces, and staff hopefully will review with you phase 2 in particular and some of those emergency procedures. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Weeks? Yeah. All right. Have a good day.